Then happy with, the deputy president taking over, Wanjiru?
No, I'd like to come in there.
Yeah.
When we say Ruto must go, we mean the entire Ruto administration, the entire government system, the overhaul that we're talking about. Because we've seen everything by the Ruto.
And so when you mean the entire government, just sort of paint that for us. So there's a president, there is his deputy, there's parliament, there is a speaker of both houses.
All of them. Because you remember when we were protesting against the finance bill, we were literally outside in CBD overseeing the voting process, saying we reject the finance bill. And the members of parliament voted yes. While we were outside, the audacity to disregard the sovereignty of the Kenyan people. And that is why people were like, you know what? We're just going to walk into that parliament and reclaim our sovereignty, because all of these people do not care about us. And why we are saying we are partyless, we are tribeless, we are leaderless, because we do not subscribe to party politics. Most members of parliament voted yes, because that was the position of the UDA party. We are saying, can we talk about real issues that affect us as Kenyan people? If this is not something Kenyans want, why must it be shoved down our throat? So we are saying a government that does not read from the same book that we read as young people of this country. There's a disconnect. And this is the way of life. I mean, I feel like we are like a budding flower, which is in its budding stage, that is being prevented by Ruto and Rigathi, who have actually hijacked our democratic institutions, the parliament of this country. Ruto and Rigathi have hijacked parliament by bribing members of parliament to do whatever it is that they want. The parliament is the people's institution. We vote our representatives in parliament to go there and represent us. And there's something very wrong with a system that narrows down to one person deciding for millions of Kenyans what is it that should happen in their lives. So I think that when we say Ruto must go, Ruto is the embodiment of everything that is wrong with governance in our country, because the fish rots from the head. And we have seen this from the time he got into office. The other thing is our population, 80% of us did not vote in this administration. That is another thing we must not forget. And most people were just like, there's no point choosing between these two. We would rather not vote. But now I feel like we are more aware about why we must take part in politics, why we need to take our voters' card early, why we need to vote our representatives, and why we need to have a say in who represents us. Because we have seen how costly it could be. We've seen us being, our country being auctioned to IMF with a bill that, the land bill, the very dear land, we've seen measures that we do not agree with, being like the food, the agriculture. When we saw Bill Gates with Ruto, honestly, we were like, oh my gosh. And then the seed bill that was introduced. How can we not sell seeds to each other as Kenyan farmers, which has been our culture? So we are saying that we need to be allowed to usher in this new country we envision, this new country that respects and upholds the rule of law and human rights. Nobody should die for coming out to protest for good governance.
Okay.